Hello my friends, and welcome to a brand new camera comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 against the iPhone 13 Pro Max. On the Fold 4 we are shooting with a front camera on its covered display, and we are recording at 4K at 30 frames per second on both phones. Tell me in the comment section below which one do you think has a better audio, and which one has better colors and better stabilization. Before we start reviewing samples, I just wanted to let you know that all of the upcoming daylight pictures are taken in auto mode without adjusting any of the settings. When it comes to their main cameras, both are really good with some differences. In my testing, the Fold 4 is brighter in most of the shots, while the iPhone has a little more contrast. Both, however, are very sharp and detailed. Shadow areas are slightly brighter on the Fold 4, but the difference with the 13 Pro Max is just minimal. If you look closely, all the trees here are brighter on the Fold, but the iPhone is good too. With objects that have lighter colors, however, it seems that the iPhone is doing a better job, even though the Fold isn't bad at all. Those are just tiny differences, however, and most of the people won't even notice them. Dynamic range, on the other hand, is better preserved on the Fold 4. As you can see here, the sky is blown out on the iPhone. The Fold is also slightly struggling, but not as bad as the iPhone, even though in general, besides that, both are very good. They are also equipped with ultrawide cameras, and just like before, both are really good, with the Fold 4 once again having a better dynamic range. The iPhone, however, makes a comeback when it comes to contrast, and here I like the sky color more on that device. The Fold 4 on the other hand continues to have brighter shadow areas. For people who like brighter pictures, the Fold 4 is the way to go. When it comes to field of view, the iPhone is slightly wider than the Fold 4, and I really like it for that, because you can capture more on the frame, even though the Fold 4 is also very wide. In some shots I found out that the iPhone 13 Pro Max does also have warmer colors compared to the cooler tone of the Fold 4. Both are really good, and it is just a matter of preference which one you like. These devices do also have telephoto sensors, and they are some of the best at the zoom range. I think that having a 3x telephoto sensor on the camera layout is the sweet spot, and this sensor is included on both phones. When it comes to image quality, they are very good, but in contrast to before, it is now the iPhone with the brightest picture. The Fold, on the other hand, produces sharper pictures, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max is slightly softer. I prefer here the Fold 4, but the iPhone is also great. With portraits, on the other hand, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is better. The Fold 4 is also really good, and her face is natural and very detailed, but somehow portrait pictures look more pleasing on iPhones. Once again we have the same results, with the iPhone being more pleasing, with the blur also being more natural. The difference, however, here is bigger, since she looks darker on the Fold 4. With their front cameras they are very sharp and detailed. I do, however, like the Fold 4 since my skin color is way too saturated on the 13 Pro Max, which I don't really like. The background has also a nice blur on the Fold 4, and even the sky is better preserved compared to the iPhone, where the clouds are blown out on some parts. When we take selfies with the camera in the inner display of the Fold 4, however, it is a different story. Credits to Samsung, the Fold 4 is doing a better job compared to its predecessor, but it still can't match the quality of the iPhone. When recording 4K videos with their main cameras, both are just amazing. The stabilization is excellent on them, and so is the dynamic range. The iPhone, however, seems to be slightly sharper. We have similar results even with their ultrawide cameras, and although the Fold 4 is really good, the iPhone 13 Pro Max continues to be sharper and have more pleasing colors. Even with their telephoto cameras they are very similar, and overall, these phones are some of the best for recording videos, and I have no complaints at all. Moving to low light, and from now on every picture is taken with night mode enabled. With their front cameras, to me the Fold 4 is a clear winner here. To be honest, my face is sharp and detailed even on the iPhone, but I don't like their implementation of the night mode. Pictures taken with the 13 Pro Max look like they were taken with a flash enabled. while the Fold 4 has a very optimized night mode, which I really like. With their main cameras, they continue to be very good and similar in quality. In some samples like here, the Fold was brighter, while there were some other cases where I experienced different results. This one, for example, was a very difficult shot to take for both phones, since the light here was very bright and none of them managed to capture the image without blowing the light circle. The Z Fold 4 is slightly better, but not by that much. In shots like this one, the 13 Pro Max was brighter and more vibrant, but the Fold on the other hand is sharper and the light sources are handled much better. The same story is also in this other case, and although the iPhone 13 Pro Max picture is vibrant and very good, I do prefer the picture taken with the Z Fold 4. With the ultra-wide cameras, the difference seems to be bigger in favor of the Fold. As you can see, the street lights and even the lights of the stores here are much better handled on the Fold. The iPhone on the other hand continues to have brighter and more vibrant pictures, and honestly both are really good, and I like both implementations. In some samples they were so similar to each other, I had a hard time to find any differences at all. This just shows that the ultra-wide cameras found on these phones are just amazing, and on par with their main cameras. I have to give praise to Samsung, however, since the iPhone sometimes catches reflections from the sides, therefore its pictures aren't as clear as the ones found on the Fold 4. With their telephoto cameras, just like in daylight, the iPhone is slightly brighter. From what I could notice, the 13 Pro Max brightens the entire image, while the Fold 4 focuses more on what's on the center. Both, however, are really good, and no matter which phone you'll end up choosing, you will be happy with the cameras it has. So guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below which one was your winner, and if you did enjoy this video, then a thumbs up would be appreciated. Thank you for watching, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.